Good afternoon and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we'll need to review our risk disclosure. Okay, so our risk disclosure, just to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided or contained herein is intended as investment advice, an offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Testimonials appearing on the company's website may not be representative of other clients or customers and not guarantee a future success. Use of the information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor. An investor could lose all or more of their investment capital, and only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used for trading. And again, only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, we're going to go ahead now and take a look at the news portal. Okay, before we do this, one thing I'm going to do here. All right, let's come back. All right, so looking at the news portal, okay, hopefully everybody can see that. We coming up today, we have the tentative report on EIA coming in at noon Eastern. Was it noon? Yeah, looks like it's noon Eastern time. And then we have the 3-year note yield report coming in at 1 p.m. And then we have a couple of announcements or potential announcements coming in from our president. But the big news event I think that most people are waiting for is the CPI report tomorrow. Okay, and followed by the crude oil inventory report. Okay, these we have some reports coming in at tomorrow and the Thursday that could potentially shake the markets here a little bit. Okay, so now that we've gotten through the news, there's really not much news today. I would say that has the potential of impacting the markets. So let's go ahead now and move into our platform, and let's start to review the markets. We're going to go ahead and start with our gold market. Okay, so let's see here. So let's remove some of these drawings here. We'll turn off initial balance here for a moment. ASR will leave, ADR will leave. Okay, so looking at the daily chart. Okay, so looking at the daily chart, you can see, I'm going to turn off this one. Okay, looking at the daily chart, we've been in some sort of range of kind of price action. And of late, we've been a little bit, I would say, a little bit on the bearish side, okay, of the market. We had some consolidation going on here over a few days. We had a little bit of a sell-off, and now we've come into an area of support here down at 33.22, okay, and that has created some reaction or required some of our participants to come back into the market here. Okay, so looking at the daily, we are in this I would say a consolidation pattern. Okay, you can see with this overlapping set of candles here, we've come into an area of demand, and it appears that we're looking to head higher based on the daily chart. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. Moving down to the 4-hour chart, you can again see that we have a set of overlapping candles. Looks like we did locate an area of some potential demand here. So we're going to go ahead and mark that area in green right here. Okay, this area around 33.25. We're going to go ahead and mark that level as supportive. Okay, to price. All right, you can see that price was not able to get back below this level. Okay. So we kind of started out the session rather bearish, okay, and then during the overnight session we started to find some buyers. Okay, we are now above this area of resistance. Okay, we're still an hour or so away from closing above it. We're going to go ahead and mark that as a potential area of we'll leave it as resistance for now. Okay, this area here around 33.58, okay, does appear to be an area of resistance, but assuming that we do manage to close above it, then that could be a potential area where we could see maybe a continuation move to the upside. We are, as I mentioned, on the daily and the 4-hour. It does appear that we are in some sort of a little bit of bearish structure of late here. Okay, you can see that we've been in a somewhat of a downtrend in this market. We've kind of retraced back. Okay, it appears more of a retracement back. Okay, I would say that this level above here around we're going to call it, does appear to be a little bit of a supply zone. Okay, resistance zone up above here. We're going to go ahead and mark that area in as red. Okay, around 3,400. Okay, so we have 34.25 on the support side and about 3,400 on the resistance side, and it's quite possible that we remain in that range in the near future. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead now and move down to the 30-minute chart. I'm assuming you guys can all see my charts. I can get some acknowledgement of that. That would be excellent. All right. So here we are. Again, you can see that we are in a little bit of overlapping price action. We did start out the overnight session rather bearish. Okay. Found some support here at the 34.25 level, created a little bit of a double bottom, and now we've since rallied up to the rallied. Okay, we've rallied since then. Okay, so a number, I would say a number of people long currently in the market. Okay, during the overnight session. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of volume analysis. Let's get a sense for where price is in relation to yesterday's value. So we're going to go ahead and draw in our fixed range volume profile, starting with the opening candle, and you can see here with this candle here, we opened just a shade above the value area high here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and mark that level. This is the value area high of the session. This is the opening candle, and we're going to go ahead now and open up our initial balance. Okay, there's our initial balance range. We're going to go ahead and change that from Asia to our current session. Okay, and you can see that we've developed a rather narrow initial balance range in this market. Okay, so you can see here that we did manage. Okay, we did manage to open above it. Okay, and remain above. We're going to go ahead and dial that in blue. Okay. All right. So here we are. Here's our value area high. Okay. You can label this as value area high. Value area high. Okay. So the high end of value. Okay. For yesterday. Okay. And next thing I'm going to, so we can see that price is above our VWAP, indicating that there is a fair number of bullish participants in this market. I'm going to go ahead and also add in our anchored VWAP for the start of London, which I think is the cause of this move, main move anyway. Let's see, right about here. Okay, so you can see that we're above our London session. Again, also indicating that there's a fair amount of bullish interest in this market. Okay, so assuming that we hold this level and we hold above this value area high, and we don't break any prices below VWAP, my general view is that we are looking to head higher in this market. Okay. And I would say that this 33.58 level could serve as a reference level for a continuation move to the upside. Okay. If we start to break below VWAP, this anchored VWAP, and maybe certainly get below this level, that would give me some confidence that we are maybe going to come back and revisit some of these lows here. Okay. So as long as price remains above VWAP and it remains above both our anchor VWAP from London and our daily VWAP from just daily VWAP, then I would say that we have a fair chance to move higher. Okay. We're going to go ahead and add our ADR levels. Okay, so there's our ADR level of 33.76. We're going to go ahead and add our ASR, but we're going to kind of leave London here for a moment, just to keep that and see how close we are to the London session high. Okay, so here's the London session high. So I would expect that this 33.65 level could offer maybe some resistance. It looked like it has already to some degree. And assuming that we can get above this 33.65 level, then I would say that this 33.65 level could offer another area for a potential supportive move up to the upside. Okay, so as we kind of close out this review, I would say that headed in, hey Niels, as we head into this session, okay, I'm looking. I guess my view of the market is still rather bullish, and I would say that that I would remain bullish as long as price remains above both our anchor VWAP and our daily VWAP. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you for the gold market. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and begin to move into our crude oil market. Okay, again, starting off with the daily chart, we're going to get a sense for what price is doing on a higher time frame. And of late, it looks like the market has been in some sort of bull run. Okay, you can see that we are breaking some levels here. Okay, we had the level of 64 that we've been tracking for some time, and that we've broken to the upside. Okay, so we have we had a bullish candle close above yesterday, and now we have yet another developing candle today. Okay, above that level. I'm going to go ahead and mark that level as green. Okay. Okay, indicating that this is now a supportive level. So any reaction to price here, 64, I would say that should serve as an area of support. Okay, to this market. Now, what's interesting about this is that there is really nothing that stands in the way of price advancing all the way to the highs here, 71. Now that we've broken above this level, we really don't have much in the way of resistance. Possibly as we get closer to 66, maybe this prior area of support could serve as a resistance area. We'll go ahead and mark that in. But this area has already been broken to the downside. Okay, so this area could potentially serve as an area of resistance back to the upside. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment. You can see that we're right up against that level that we found on the daily side. So this area could be resistant to price. We are seeing that price is creating some higher highs and higher lows. Okay, higher highs and higher lows in this market. All right, we have our we're now above settlement, right, from yesterday. And we are above some of our indications. I have this older anchored VWAP that is price is above as well. Okay, and our DMI indicator is indicating that there is a fair amount of momentum to the upside. All right, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Here we are going to go ahead and expand some of these candles here for a bit. Okay, so you can see that price is above settlement from yesterday. We got up to this 66 level that I had mentioned that we located on the daily, and that has initially been resistant to price. We have a developing candle here, second 30-minute candle that is also reacting away from that same level. Okay, it would be interesting for me if this current candle closes as weak as it is now, because that could lead us to maybe a reversal in price. Okay, if this candle does continue to remain weak. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and move into some volume analysis. We're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. We're going to go ahead and locate the start of the crude oil session, drag that to the close of the crude oil session, and you can see that price is above our value area high, indicating that participants are willing to pay a premium to be in this market. Okay, so we've gotten price to exceed the value area high. We've come back to retest that high, and we've been up until this candle bullish. Okay, now let's go ahead and open up initial balance, because market is officially open now for 10 minutes. Okay, so just prior to the open, we had some maybe overnight longs, close out some positions. Okay, and now we have a somewhat of a developing bullish candle, but a candle that has a large wick above it, indicating that there's a fair amount of selling pressure in this market as we speak. Okay, we go ahead and open up our anchored VWAP here. Okay, for the start of London. There it is. Okay, so let's see what that generates. It's taking a little bit long time here. So right now, as we wait for that to develop there, let's see what's going on here. Anchor VWAP. There it is. Okay, there we are. All right, so the anchor VWAP for the start of London and the daily session are pretty much the same level. Okay, now this candle is challenging that. Okay, so we had a candle that closed below it. We had some sort of reaction of some of the buyers here. Now the question is going to become, in the next 18 minutes, does this candle close below this VWAP, or does it remain above it? If it closes below, that will give me further evidence that maybe we are going to potentially head lower. If it manages to close above it, then we have to see if we do get a higher high here, and then maybe a retracement. Okay, so what I'm looking for, if I'm bullish, I'm looking for a push outside of the initial balance range and a retest above it, and that would lead me to believe that we are potentially heading higher. Okay, now I am cognizant of the fact that we are coming into this 66 level. Okay, that could be resistance to some price. Our DMI is really not giving us an indication here at the moment of what direction they want to take this market. Right, we see a lot of overlapping positive DI, negative DI, with a flat to down indicator here. So really not telling us much in the way of direction at the moment in the crude oil. Okay, It's very quite possible that we could remain in range based on the DMI. The DMI is really not giving us an indication here as to the direction of the market. So right now, I would say that I'm going to be waiting for the market to give me some additional information. I'm going to wait to see if I get some indication as to the direction that they want to take the market, right? Is it going to provide me a candle above this initial balance range to the upside, or is it going to provide me a candle here to the downside? The direction of these candles could give me some more information here that would lead me to believe the direction that they plan to take the market. So that's kind of what I'm going to be waiting for. I'm going to be waiting for some indication in either direction as to where they plan to drive the market. Okay. Moving on to the equities. Okay. Moving on to the equity markets. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move into the NASDAQ here. All right. We're going to go ahead and look at the daily chart. Now, at the start of the session yesterday, we were in a rather significant bull run, okay, as indicated here. We reached this high as 21,972, and now we've kind of settled in to more of a balanced look, okay. But you can see here the slope of this price has been to the upside. Now we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown, okay. There is a little bit of a slowdown to the advancement of price action to the upside, okay, but nonetheless we remain in a bullish move here. We're getting a little bit of an indecision candles. Yesterday was a little bit of an indecision candle. Today we are currently developing yet another indecision candle, and this could be all could be done as a result of the CPI that we're expecting to see here, or expecting to report here in the next day or two. Okay, so that could be the result of that. All right, so let's go ahead now and move down to the 4-hour chart. Now you can see in the 4-hour chart, let's turn off our initial balance range, and potentially I think that's good. Okay, so you can see here again that we are if I were to draw this here, you can see that we have let's see, draw this in here. So we're at the upper end of the range. We've broken at the upper end of the range. We had an ascending triangle, and we've broken above the ascending triangle. We broke above the ascending triangle. We came back to retest it. We found some buyers. Okay, so now we found some buyers. We're holding this level of say 21,850. Okay, and now it appears on the 4-hour chart that we're building up some momentum for a possible bullish move in this market. Okay, as long as we can stay above 21,850, that's kind of what I'm seeing here, right? We had a nice, relatively strong bearish candle to the downside to test the highs of this triangle pattern. We've since found some buyers. The buyers have stepped in, and now price is above. Okay, moving into the 30-minute chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead again, expand some of these candles here. Again, we can get a little bit of visibility here. We broke below some structure here. Again, found some buyers, and now we're trying to make our way higher. Okay, but we're making our way higher in kind of a grinding kind of fashion. Okay, so it does appear that there is still some fair amount of sellers, at least on the short term, in this market. Okay. We were getting some indecisive candles on the higher time frame, but on the lower time frame, it does appear that we are in some sort of bearish move. Okay, we're going to go ahead again and open up our fixed range volume profile. We're going to do some analysis here. Okay, across. All right, and you can see that price right now, with about 15 minutes away from the open of the markets, that price is within the value range of yesterday, indicating that we could expect to see some range kind of price action, okay, in today's session. All right, we're going to go ahead and open up our anchored VWAP, get a sense for what London has to say about all of this, and you can see that both in the daily session as well as the London session, price is above these ranges. Now, the daily session is being challenged at the moment for maybe a potential downside move. Okay, So we are in a little bit of bearish structure. You can see that we are moving to the downside on the 30-minute chart. This feels like a little bit of a retracement. All right, a little bit of a consolidation pattern. Okay, I could probably contain this in some sort of set of lines here. Okay, so this we are in a little bit of a bearish channel. Okay, or a bullish channel, I should say. Okay, and that could very well lead us. Okay, very well could lead us to another leg move to the downside. Okay, this is kind of the symmetrical pattern that I'm suggesting. Okay, so we have a push down, a retracement up, back to VWAP for another leg down. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing in the 30-minute chart. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here and see if there's any questions. If not, we'll go ahead and move into the ES markets, and then finally the Dow, and we'll close the session. Okay, so I don't see anything in the way of questions, so we'll go ahead and move on to the ES here. All right, so again, we'll move into the daily chart. Looking at the daily, okay, you can see that price is having a little bit of trouble here at the upper end of the market. Okay, we've gotten to 60.40. We had a prior candle that was quite indecisive here. Okay, it opened above, opened below, and basically closed at the same price. Okay, so really no indication of direction here. And then we have a developing candle that also has an equal amount of wick on one end and wick on the other. But if we look and kind of kind of zoom out, right, of this, right, you can see that we've been in a bullish pattern, right? We are in a bullish move at the moment, right? And the market does appear to be headed higher. Okay, right? We're not seeing anything in the way of breaking structure to the downside. So headed into the session, I would say that at least on the daily, it does appear that we are bullish. Okay, the 4-hour. Okay, we're going to take a look at. Okay, push higher at the start of the day, followed by a strong push lower. We've now come into an area of demand here around the 6,000 level. Okay, we've gotten two indications that 6,000 is a supportive area. So we're going to go ahead and mark that in as an area of support. Okay, and now our candle is above. Okay, so our daily is indicating higher. Our 4-hour is giving us some evidence, giving us some data that indicates that there is some interest here at the 6,000 level, and we are developing a candle that is leading us to believe that there's maybe some more upside potential to this market. Okay. All right, moving into the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, you can see that price is above our VWAP. We had during the overnight session, we had a run up followed by a run down, and it kind of settled in around the 6,000 level. Again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests of the 6,000 level. We've rallied since then. We've gotten above the settlement price, and now we're holding settlement. Okay, so this is again another indication that there is a fair amount of bullish interest in this market. So I'm going to mark this 6,010 level as an area of this area here as an area of support. Okay, so 6,010 does appear to be supportive. Price is above our VWAP, although the VWAP is a little bit on the flat side, so I can't really trust that all too much. I'm going to go ahead and open up our anchor VWAP here for the start of London. Okay, so that is more of a sloping VWAP. Okay, you can see that we've already had one touch of that. So again, indications are that the market could continue higher from here. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile for the start of the session yesterday. Okay, so there we are. I'm going to close that over. Okay, so you can see that right now we're inside value. Okay, so on the upper end of it, but still inside. So again, indicating again that we are in some sort of area of balance, we'll have to wait and see if price is able and manages to get above this high end of value here at 6,021. Okay, we've already had one test of it, and in the next 7 minutes or so, we'll probably retest it again. Okay, so if we do manage to get above value, okay, and hold above, say, 6,021, that could be the momentum that we need for maybe further price action to the upside. If we're not able to get above 6,021, and we're still very much in some sort of bearish structure here, okay, these set of candles are still inside some bearish structure. So we have to be aware that maybe there are some sellers around these areas. Until we can get to a new high, we open ourselves up to that possibility. Okay, just as I mentioned before, with the Nasdaq, right? This does appear to be more of a consolidation area than a trending. Okay, and this could lead to another leg to the downside. Okay, so two cases can be made here. Okay, a case for further price discovery to the upside if we break above value. People are willing to pay a premium of yesterday's prices, or we hold below value, okay, and that leads to a leg lower, okay. But in order for me to adopt a bearish, I need to get below VWAP, both on the daily side and the anchored side, okay. All right. So before I move on to the last session, or last instrument, I just wanted to kind of maybe spend a little bit of time kind of speaking up to my portal here. I do these sessions now, once or twice a week to the public, and on a daily basis for memberships. Okay, so for those that are here, I would very much appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe. Okay, obviously any commentary on the benefit of these sessions will go a long way to encourage me maybe to do more of these sessions in the future. But certainly appreciate the support that I've been given, but would definitely need continued support in order to make these sessions, I guess, more accessible to everyone. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and move into the last market. Okay. Thank you, OP. We're going to look at the Dow again, very similar to what we're seeing here on the daily, similar to what we've been seeing. Yes, I think it's very important that you have an understanding of what's going on with all the time frames. Thank you, Niels. Appreciate that. Yeah, don't be afraid to like and comment on that once the posting becomes available. But I do appreciate your comments. Thank you, Preach. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the markets here. We have about 5 minutes before the markets open here. So you can see, similar to the Nasdaq and the ES, we do appear to be in some sort of bullish price action. We are coming up against a level here at 43,000. That could be resistant to price here. I'm just going to go ahead and mark that in right about there. Okay, there's our 43,000 level. I'm going to go ahead and mark that level in red as potentially resistant. Okay, we do have an ascending triangle pattern here. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and draw that in very quickly. Okay, here's our ascending wedge pattern. Okay, we have yet to break above the wedge, but we're coming into the apex. So a move is coming. Okay, a move is coming. Don't know necessarily what the direction is going to be, but there is a move in the near horizon here. Okay, moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, you can see that we're very close to this pattern on the upper end of it. Okay, this is our apex of our triangle. You can see that we've created some higher highs and higher lows. So we continue to be in some sort of bullish structure here to the upside. All right. So both the daily and the 4-hour seem to be rather bullish at the moment. Okay. Moving down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead and zoom out here. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of volume analysis here. We're going to go ahead and start with our fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the start of the session, yesterday's session, to the close of yesterday's session here. Okay, and you can see, just like all the other equity markets, the markets are in some sort of range of some sort of fair value. Okay, We have, again, this area that I've identified on the other markets. This high end of value is going to be an important value for the bulls. Okay, if we are going to advance higher, we need to get above 42,840. Okay, price is currently above, but we still remain in bearish structure. Okay, even though we are above our VWAP, our VWAP is sloping to the downside. Okay, so we have to respect the fact that we are in bearish structure. Okay, so we can easily, as I mentioned in the other equity markets, we can easily create a leg that heads lower. Okay, now, do we have some evidence that there are some bulls in the market? Yes. Do they have the participants necessary to continue to drive price higher? That's yet to be seen. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and open up our anchor VWAP here to kind of close out this kind of evaluation here. We're going to go ahead and locate. So you can see that in London, okay, price is above. We retested the VWAP from London, and you can see that there is an attempt here to get above this VWAP. Okay. Again, if we do manage to get above 42,840, that will be a feather in the cap of the bulls, and that could lead us back up to the highs of yesterday. Okay. If not, then this 42,840 level could serve as an area of resistance, and it could offer us a move to the downside. Okay, so just to kind of go through all the markets here really quick. Okay, looking at the gold, looks like the gold is bullish. Okay, the crude oil is looking maybe on the short term a little bit more bearish, although we've been in a bullish structure of late. And then the equities, I would say, are looking I guess more bearish, but there are some signs of some bullish activity. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you guys today in this pre-market session. And we just got the opening candle here, looks like, or about to. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you guys today. So as we close the session today, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Okay. Okay. Hey, preach. Hey, man of worship. Hey, Niels. All right. Have a good day of trading, guys. And I'll catch you in group coaching, or I'll catch you during inside the Discord channel. Until then, have a good trading session today. Talk soon.